in order to solve problems and make life easier on themselves. Our technology. How many of you own a phone? And keep your hands up if you've ever used it to make a bad decision, such as not paying attention in a class. Technology is everywhere, from industries to companies, promoting products, to you socializing with friends. Almost everybody in the United States has a phone or a personal device to browse social media with. And we're blind to see how damaging and dangerous these tools are. I would say that we're credible on this topic because we've done extensive research on it and also have first-hand experience. We want to talk to you guys about the negative effects that social media induces on people because it causes depression and isolation, cyberbullying, and altered sleep patterns. For our preview, we're just going to talk to you guys about the impact of social media, and then talk about a couple solutions and visualizing the outcome. So for isolation and depression, 96% of teens and adults own a smartphone. And Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook are common social media platforms that almost everybody uses. The American Academy of Pediatrics defines Facebook depression as excess social media use, which leads to depression and anxiety, as well as leading to people to compare themselves to others and compete, which lowers self-esteem and body image, and people make changes for themselves for the sake of others. National Center for Health Research 2018. Others post their success online, making some feel jealous or feel worthless and boring towards themselves. Early social media in teens 2018. These platforms inhibit isolation from family and friends, and they're substituting social life in reality for online life. BP Magazine, Negative Effects on Teens and Heavy Social Media Use 2018. Moving on to cyberbullying. It has grown immensely over the past 10 years. With how easy it is to communicate with people online, it's easy to insult somebody behind a screen. It's just a random person that they don't know. There's basically no consequence. Zucpa, Negative Effects of Social Media Use 2018. This has led to increased suicide rates, depression, and antisocial behavior out of fear of being bullied. From 2008 to 2015, suicide rates have doubled. And there are now many food and body image concerns related to this, as well as some developing eating disorders just from online judgment. Cook Cyberbullying Statistics 2016. And now going on to sleep patterns and concentration, 60% of teens and adults look at their phone before going to bed, typically an hour, sometimes several. Now screens emit blue light, as well as social media tends to unconsciously induce stress, therefore those two factors making it difficult to fall asleep. As well as some just stay up late on their phone when they should be sleeping. Miller, does social media cause depression? 2017. And then lastly, concentration. Students nowadays are lazy. They put no effort in on their homework and studying because they are too addicted and busy being distracted by their phones and social media. It has been proven that students do poorly on cognitive tests when taking those tests with their phone in the same room versus students who take the same cognitive tests with their phone in a different room. You're losing intellectual ability at an unconscious level. MCA, How Phones Ruin Concentration 2018. But now, I'm going to move it on to Igor, and as he will talk about some solutions and visualization.
So, how do we solve these first world problems? Well, easy. Ditch social media. Be done with it. Well, it may be easier said than done since social media is such a prevalent thing in our society. Well, maybe you can take small incremental steps to actually address these issues. So, let's start by logging out of Facebook on your phone and removing notifications for emails, for example. But one might say, oh, but I want to know what Jenny is doing, what she ate for breakfast. Well, you know what? Pick up the phone and call her. But then, a positive side effect of this could also be, less distractions throughout the day, for example. You check on your phone less often, especially if those notifications are coming from work. No one should be checking their phone after hours. That's just a bad idea. Another thing one can do is, for example, instead of using their phone as an alarm, they can use a regular alarm. So when you wake up, you don't look at the phone right away. But let's talk about specifics that Connor addressed here about cyberbullying, disruptive sleep patterns, and depression. Depression. Social validation by passively observing other people's lives. That sounds like a ticket to a shrink. That's a bad thing, right? So what can we do about it? Pick up the phone, call your friend, talk to them, find out how they're doing. A healthy dose of oxytocin may be just the right thing to do this. What about cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is actually tricky because it's so easy to do. And well, you know, they could be right. Really creepy man sitting on the other side and just making you feel bad about yourself. So what do? Pick up the phone, call your friends. The more friends you have in the real life, the more chances you actually have to realize none of these posts matter. What about sleep patterns? 3 things. First, turn on the night mode on your phone. Second, no social media or screen time 1 hour before bed. And third, go to bed and wake up exactly the same time, including weekends. So how would this look in the real world? So imagine that you're some sort of venue, on the bus, on the train. You lift your head, you look around, and no one is on their phone, digging and checking and clicking on things. And they're either conversing with their friends and family, or just reading a book or listening to music. Isn't that amazing? I've experienced this first person while traveling in Central America and Europe. Unfortunately, social media has a big impact on our lives. And interestingly enough, according to studies published in 2019 in the Youth and Adolescent magazine, social media cannot be proven to cause clinical depression directly, yet it's still an issue. It's still a big problem in our society. So, how do we solve this? Well, the easy solutions that we just mentioned. Establish a sleep hygiene. Turn off notifications once in a while. So, let me leave you with this and challenge you for the next 48 hours. Pick up that phone. Disable notifications. And if you're really, really itching to call that friend and find out what's going on, pick up the phone. Call them. Find out how they're doing. Thank you.